Well, I think motivating starts with building that relationship, making sure that the players know how much you care about them and building that trust. So once you have that, then I believe you can be really demanding on challenging on people because they know how much you care and they know that it's coming from the right place. Now, I think there's been an evolution in the last 10 to 15 years in terms of the old school coach that's always yelling and screaming. And I think you have to be very careful in today's day and age that you don't disrespect kids, because if you disrespect them in front of people, you may lose them and never get them back. So what I believe, again, is if you have that trust and you have that relationship and they know how much you care, you can be demanding and you can be challenging, but you can't be disrespectful and you don't cross the line. But I'd also make the argument that if you're going to be demanding and challenging on them, you got to love them hard as well. So what I mean by that is the plays that they make, you can't say, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. Well, no. If they do something right, you scream and you go crazy. If they do something wrong, if it's your personality, scream and go crazy. But you got to do both. You got to do both. And I think people can respect that. And I think at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. You have to stay true to who you are, but you also have to just understand kids. And then I think on a more individual basis, the better you know your players, their background, where they're from, what their challenges are, what their issues are, what makes them tick, what situations are they comfortable in, what situations are they uncomfortable in, then that is going to give you the best ability to motivate that individual kid because you know how he's going to respond. Some kids you can challenge in front of the group. Other kids you're going to have to pull them to the side and talk to them one-on-one privately. At the end of the day, though, it's going to be about them knowing how much you care about them as individuals and them knowing how much you care about the team. Once you have that and there's trust, then you're going to, motivating them is going to come natural. Well, I think it starts with you. I think making sure that your staff understands what the standards and what the expectation is. If you want to have a really efficient, organized practice, then you better spend the time on it. You better go through it in detail with your staff, and then how that practice is going to feel. What's the style and approach that you expect from the assistants? I've sat in many a meeting room where the coaches feel like, well, we don't have great leadership on our team. How do we develop more leadership from our players? Well, it starts with them. It starts with us. If we come out to practice and we don't have great energy, how do you expect the players to do it? So I just think, in developing your staff and motivating your staff, it's really important that you don't take it for granted that they know what you want. Here's how practice is going to run. This is what I expect. This is what I believe in, and this is how we're going to do things, and talk it through so there's no gray area. That's where it all starts. It starts with communication, communicating your vision and your expectations. I think that's critical.